The courtroom smells like burnt coffee and old paper, like somebody tried to mask panic with routines that don't work. My palms are slick. My fingers won't stop trembling around the edge of the table, nails digging into cheap laminate as if I could anchor myself. He smiles when the judge speaks. Not relief, not gratitude. A smile like he's collecting something he already owned. The house, temporary full custody. My throat tightens so hard it feels like swallowing glass. Outside, cold air hits my face. He leans in close enough that I can smell his aftershave, and he whispers, "You're done. Nobody will believe you." That night, my phone lights up. A bank alert. Not ours, not mine. My stomach drops. I open a forgotten email draft. Half-written, unsent. And there it is again. Another account. Then another. I don't cry. I screenshot. The divorce was called clean. That word makes me want to laugh until I choke. Clean is a countertop wiped down after somebody bleeds on it. Clean is a shirt you put on over bruises. Clean is what it looks like when the mess gets pushed into a drawer and the drawer gets locked. I'm a young mom with a too small apartment and a too big silence. The kind that follows me from room to room, filling the corners where my kids' voices used to bounce. I keep their cups in the cabinet like they'll be back any minute. I fold tiny shirts that don't smell like them anymore. My chest aches in a steady, dull throb. Like a tooth you can't stop tonguing because pain is proof the nerve is still alive. Everyone keeps saying, "Be strong." Like strength is a light switch. Like I didn't already try it in court with my knees shaking under the table and my mouth tasting like metal. He's charming in public. The kind of man who holds doors, smiles at teachers, says the right things with that warm, easy voice. In private, he counts. He measures. He tightens invisible strings around my life until I can't move without asking. Even now, with my ring gone, I can still feel the pressure. His mother is polished, the kind of woman who hugs you while her eyes stay cold. She offers help the way a spider offers a web. "I'm only thinking of the children," she says, and my stomach flips because I can hear the blade hiding inside the words. My best friend is the only one who checks on me without sounding like she's checking my pulse. She shows up with groceries and tired eyes, and she doesn't flinch when my voice breaks. And then there's her, my mentor. A calm, older woman who smells faintly like paper and lotion, who speaks softly but doesn't bend. She teaches me to stop pleading and start documenting. Dates, screenshots, receipts, patience like a weapon you sharpen every day. This isn't a fairy tale. I'm not waiting for luck. I'm building a case. Quietly. If you're here, stay. Tell me where you're watching from, because the biggest betrayal isn't the money. It's who helped him hide it. When I first met him, I thought the world finally exhaled. It was at a friend's birthday. Too loud, too warm, the kind of party where everyone's laughing like they mean it. He leaned against the kitchen counter and watched me like I was the only steady thing in the room. When he spoke, his voice slid right under my skin. Easy, confident, safe. He remembered my coffee order the next day. He asked about my childhood like it mattered. He touched the small of my back when we crossed the street, gentle and protective. And I mistook that for love. I mistook a lot of things for love. The first red flag didn't wave. It whispered. We were 6 months in, sitting in his car outside my apartment. Rain tapped the windshield like impatient fingers. I mentioned maybe taking a weekend trip with my friends, just a cheap cabin, nothing fancy. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Why spend money on that when we're building something?" he said. Soft, reasonable. Like he was saving me from myself, building something. Those words sounded like a future, like a home. I nodded. I didn't even argue. My stomach tightened, but I told myself it was nerves, butterflies, commitment. Later, when we moved in together, he suggested we get organized. That's how he phrased it, like he was offering a gift. He made a spreadsheet, color-coded, bills, savings. Fun money. My paycheck went into the joint account. His paycheck went into the joint account, and then he set up transfers that happened automatically. I watched the numbers move like little obedient soldiers. It felt adult, responsible. Then, one afternoon, I stood in the grocery store aisle holding a box of cereal the kids liked. Before we even had kids, before I even knew the names of the future people who would break my heart by being taken from me. And I hesitated because it wasn't on the list. On the list. I felt heat crawl up my neck. My fingers clenched around the cardboard like I was doing something wrong. I put it back. When I told him later, expecting him to laugh, he kissed my forehead and said, "I'm proud of you. Proud of me for putting back cereal. Even now, remembering that, my throat burns with something sharp and ugly. Like I swallowed smoke and it never left. The good parts were real, though. That's the part that still messes with me." He proposed on a quiet evening with candles, my favorite song playing low, and for a moment I felt like the luckiest woman alive. My hands shook when I said yes. I remember his palm warm around mine, the weight of the ring, cold at first, then heating up as my skin accepted it. Our wedding was simple, sunlight through white curtains. A small crowd. My mom crying softly, his mom smiling like she'd approved a purchase. I didn't notice that then. I just saw a woman welcoming me. When our first baby arrived, the world became a blur of milk and exhaustion and tiny sounds, hiccups, squeaks, the soft, wet breathing against my collarbone. My body felt like it had been stretched and stitched back together with rough thread. My heart was huge, so huge it scared me. We brought her home, and he carried the car seat like it held something holy. He bent over her and whispered promises. I watched him, my eyes stinging, and I thought, this is it. This is the life. The neighborhood looked like a postcard. Trimmed hedges, chalk drawings on sidewalks, neighbors who waved from driveways, dinner smells drifting from open windows, garlic, onions, warm bread. At night, porch lights glowed like fireflies caught in glass. We hosted barbecues. He grilled, laughing, flipping burgers like a man who had everything under control. I set the table with bright plates, plastic cups for the kids. I loved the sound of forks tapping, the burst of laughter when someone told a story, the way our children's giggles threaded through conversations like music. From the outside, we were perfect. Inside, something was always tight. He didn't shout at first. He didn't hit. He didn't leave bruises you could point to. He did worse than that. He made my world smaller. It started with work. I loved my job. I liked the steady rhythm of it, the sense that I existed outside of being someone's wife, someone's mother. I liked having my own money, my own coworkers who knew me as me. When the kids were small and the sleep deprivation made me feel like I was moving underwater, he sat me down at the kitchen table. The overhead light buzzed. The baby monitor hissed softly. "You don't have to do this," he said, nodding toward my laptop, toward the schedule I was trying to juggle. "I can handle it. You should be home. With them. That's what's best." He said it like he cared, and I wanted to be a good mom. I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to be the kind of woman who didn't need to prove she could do everything. I wanted to rest. So I cut my hours. Then he started helping more with finances. He started paying bills directly. He said it was easier. He said, "I had enough on my plate." He said, "Just tell me what you need." And the first time I did, when I needed money for a school fundraiser, when I needed new shoes for the kids because their toes were pressing against fabric, when I needed gas after he'd taken the car for work, he didn't say no. He just asked questions. How much? Why? Are you sure it can't wait? Each question landed like a finger pressing into a bruise. Not enough to break skin, enough to make me wince. Eventually, I started anticipating the questions. I started justifying purchases before I even made them. I started shrinking my needs until they fit into his comfort. My friends noticed, or maybe they didn't. Maybe I just disappeared so slowly no one saw the exact moment I slipped away. He didn't like when I went out without him. He didn't forbid it. He didn't have to. He'd make a face. He'd sigh. He'd say, "I guess I'll handle bedtime alone." Or, "It's just, you seem different lately." Different. Like I was becoming ungrateful, like I was drifting, like I was the problem. So I stayed home, and on the nights I did go out, my phone would buzz. A text. Another, "Where are you? Are you okay? The kids miss you." The words looked caring. They felt like a leash. Still, I told myself marriage was hard. Motherhood was hard. Everybody struggled. Everybody compromised. Then came the first moment my stomach truly knew the truth before my brain allowed it. We were at a school event. Parents lined up in the auditorium, folding chairs squeaking. The kids were on stage in paper costumes, singing off-key with joy. I was clapping, laughing, eyes wet with pride. He leaned toward another mom, someone new, someone who'd moved in recently, and he smiled at her in that effortless way he used to smile at me, that same warm, personal attention that makes you feel chosen. She giggled, a little spark of something flared in my chest, hot and fast. Jealousy? Maybe. But underneath it was a different thing. Recognition. Like watching someone pick up your favorite sweater and realizing they were about to claim it. When we got home, I tried to talk about it. I tried to say, it bothered me. My voice was careful, soft, like I was walking across glass. He laughed. Not loud, not cruel in a way anyone else would call cruel, just dismissive. You're imagining things, he said. You've been so stressed. I'm worried about you. Worried about me. That phrase became his favorite weapon. The day he served me divorce papers, the world tilted. It wasn't at home. Of course it wasn't. Home would have given me privacy. Home would have let me fall apart without witnesses. It was at my workplace. A stranger in a stiff jacket called my name in front of coworkers. I remember the fluorescent lights too bright, the hum of printers, the smell of hand sanitizer. My coworkers looked up, faces curious, concerned, hungry for something to talk about. The man handed me an envelope. My hands went numb. I opened it right there, because I couldn't not, because my fingers moved without permission. Divorce. My vision narrowed, a ringing filled my ears like I'd been slapped. I don't remember walking to the bathroom, but I remember gripping the sink so hard my knuckles turned white. I remember staring at my own face in the mirror and not recognizing her, eyes wide, lips parted, skin drained of color. My phone rang. It was him. His voice was calm, almost sad. I didn't want it to be like this, he said, but I'm worried about you. You've been unstable. I think the kids need consistency. Unstable. The word hit me in the stomach. I tasted bile. I swallowed hard and my throat burned. What are you talking about? I whispered. My voice sounded like someone else's. I just want what's best, he said, and I could hear the performance in it. The careful softness, the practiced concern. Please don't make this ugly. Make this ugly, like it wasn't already. In the days that followed, he told people he was heartbroken. He told them he'd tried everything. He told them he was worried about my mental health. He said it the way you'd say someone had a cold, something unfortunate, something out of their control. People looked at me differently, like I might crack. His mother started calling, "Sweetheart," she'd say, voice smooth as polished stone. I'm here for you, we're all here for you, but you need to think about the children. They need stability. They need their father. Her words were syrup. The meaning underneath was poison. The first court hearing is a blur of paper and humiliation. The courtroom smelled like old files and burnt coffee, and the air felt too thin to breathe. His attorney spoke like I was a case study, like I was a problem to be solved. She listed my failures with neat, clipped words. Overwhelmed, emotional, erratic. Each label stuck to my skin like wet clothing. I wanted to stand up and scream, "That's not me. That's not who I am." But my mouth wouldn't work. My tongue felt heavy. My chest felt crushed. He sat beside his lawyer, hands folded, face calm. Sometimes he'd glance at me with something like pity, like he was the reasonable one watching the unstable woman unravel. His mother sat behind him, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue as if she was mourning. Every time I looked at her, she avoided my gaze, lips pressed together in practiced sorrow. When the judge granted him temporary full custody, it didn't feel real. Words floated over my head like I was underwater. Temporary. Stable environment. Best interests. I heard the phrase, family home, and my stomach turned because it used to be mine. My kitchen. My hallway where the kids' sticky fingerprints lived on the wall. The bedroom where I'd rocked them through fevers and nightmares. He got it. And then, outside, he leaned close and whispered, "You're done. Nobody will believe you." The cold air stabbed my lungs. I stood there, frozen, watching him walk away like the world hadn't just ended. The immediate fallout was a kind of slow suffocation. I moved into a rental so small my footsteps felt loud. The first night, the empty rooms echoed. The walls smelled like fresh paint and someone else's cooking. I sat on the floor with a paper plate of food I couldn't taste, listening to the refrigerator hum like a distant engine. When I set up a space for my kids, it broke something in me. 2 air mattresses, 1 small nightlight shaped like a star, a stack of books I'd brought from the old house, books with bent corners and crayon marks. I lined them up like soldiers, like they could protect us. I pressed my palm against one mattress and it squeaked. The sound made tears sting my eyes. I forced them back. He blocked calls for the kids' routine. That's what he told me. That's what he texted. If I called, it went to voicemail. If I asked to speak to them, he replied hours later. Always polite, always reasonable, always the victim of my chaos. I started second-guessing everything. Every message I typed, I reread for tone. I erased any sentence that sounded emotional. I kept my words short, dry, harmless, because I could feel the trap. I'd seen it in court, the way emotion became evidence, the way pain became proof of instability. Shame sat on my shoulders like a heavy coat. At the grocery store, I avoided people's eyes. At work, I smiled too much. My cheeks hurt from it. At night, the shame burned into something else. Anger. Not loud anger, not messy anger, a quiet, burning focus that made my spine straighten. One night, after staring at the ceiling for hours, my phone lit up on the bedside table. A bank alert. My breath caught so hard it hurt. The notification showed an account number I didn't recognize, but my name was on it. My hands went cold. My heart started pounding like it wanted out. I sat up, blankets sliding off my legs, skin prickling with goosebumps. I stared at the screen until my eyes watered, then I opened the email linked in the alert. A forgotten draft, half-written, unsent, and there, like a crack in a wall I'd thought was solid, was the beginning of a hidden life. One account became 2, 2 became a pattern. My mouth went dry, my thumb hovered over the screenshot buttons. I didn't cry. I took the first receipt, then another, and in the quiet of my tiny room with 2 air mattresses waiting like ghosts in the next space, I felt something shift. He'd taken my home. He'd taken my kids, but he'd left me proof, and proof doesn't care who smiles in court. Morning light doesn't feel clean anymore. It hits the blinds and lands in stripes across my kitchen table like a cage. Dust floats through it, slow and lazy, like the air has all the time in the world. I don't. My coffee tastes burnt, even though I measured it the same way I always do. My stomach is too tight for food. The muscles in my jaw ache from sleeping with my teeth clenched. My phone sits in front of me, screen down, like it might bite. I flip it over anyway. The bank alert is still there and my notifications, bright and smug. My name, an account number, a timestamp that makes it undeniable. My hands start shaking again, not the frantic tremble from the courtroom, but the kind that comes from adrenaline with nowhere to go. I press my palms flat on the table. The cool surface doesn't help. It just reminds me I'm alone. I call the number in the email. The automated voice is too cheerful, too calm. Thank you for calling. I pinch the bridge of my nose hard enough to see sparks behind my eyelids and force myself to breathe through it. In. Out. Slow. Don't sound emotional. Don't sound like a woman they can dismiss. When I finally get a person, her voice is pleasant and practiced, like she's smiling while she speaks. Can I have your full name? I give it. And your social security number? I give it. My throat tastes like pennies. And your date of birth? I give it. A pause. Typing. Keys clicking like tiny footsteps. I'm sorry, ma'am, she says, still pleasant. I'm not able to provide any information without proper verification. My fingers curl into my palm. My nails bite skin. I just verified myself, I say. I keep my voice low, even. It comes out thin anyway. I understand, she replies. Like she doesn't understand at all. But for this account, we'll need you to come into a branch with photo identification and additional documentation. It's policy. Additional documentation. It sounds so harmless, like a routine errand, like the world didn't just rearrange itself around my ribs. Is this account under my name? I ask, because I need her to say it out loud. I need proof that I'm not imagining the whole thing. Another pause. Another careful step backward. I can't confirm details over the phone. My throat tightens. The air in my apartment feels suddenly thick, like breathing through a wet towel. But you emailed me, I say, the edge creeping in despite my effort. You sent me an alert. I understand your frustration, ma'am. If you visit a branch, the word frustration makes me want to scream. It makes me want to throw my phone against the wall and watch it shatter just to feel something break that isn't me. I don't. I swallow. Okay, I manage. Thank you. I hang up and stare at my hands. They're trembling harder now. My fingertips feel numb, like the blood is pulling back, retreating to safer places. Proper verification. The phrase repeats in my head like a chant, like a wall. I open my laptop and start searching through old emails, old files, anything. My inbox is a graveyard of family photos and school updates and receipts he told me he handled. I type the bank name into the search bar. My pulse beats in my ears. I scroll fast, then slower, then fast again, eyes darting like I'm hunting. Nothing. Then something. A thread from years ago buried under newsletters and appointment reminders. A welcome email. Another alert. Another account number. My name. My mouth goes dry. I press my fingers to my lips like I can physically hold myself together. 1 account. 2. Not an accident, not a typo, not a mistake, a plan. I stand up too fast and the room tilts, nausea rising hot and sudden. I grip the counter until the dizziness passes. My legs feel weak, but the anger is steady. It holds me upright. If the bank wants documentation, fine. Documentation is what I'm going to drown them in. I dig through the closet in my bedroom, boxes stacked from the move, still taped shut because unpacking felt like admitting I might stay here. My lungs tighten at the smell when I rip one open. Cardboard, old fabric, the faint ghost of the house we used to live in. It smells like someone else's life now. A photo album, a baby blanket, a stack of envelopes I never opened because he always said, "I'll take care of it." My fingers hover over them. I can hear his voice in my head. Warm, firm. "Don't worry, babe. I've got it." I yank the envelopes free and dump them onto the bed. Paper slides everywhere. Statements, insurance letters, tax documents, junk mail, a glossy holiday card with our smiling faces in matching sweaters. My stomach lurches at that one. The grin on my face looks real. That's what hurts, that I didn't know I was posing in a story someone else was writing. A dusty folder falls out of the bottom of the box, edges bent, the kind of folder you shove things into when you're too tired to sort. I open it. Receipts, old pay stubs, a copy of a tax return. My breath catches. The signature at the bottom looks like mine, but it doesn't feel like mine. It's too smooth, too confident, like someone practiced it, like someone traced the shape of my name until it became a tool. Heat crawls up my neck. My ears ring. My vision tunnels. I stare at that signature until my eyes sting. Memories start flickering. Me signing things quickly at the kitchen counter while the baby cried, while he stood behind me, guiding the papers, saying, "Just here and here." Me trusting. Me moving fast because motherhood is chaos and trust is convenient. My stomach twists. I think I might throw up. I press the heel of my hand into my sternum and breathe through the burn. I tell myself, don't spiral. Don't float away into panic. That's what he wants. That's what he built this for. My phone buzzes. Work. I glance at the screen and my mouth goes tight. A message from my supervisor. "Need you to come in late today. We're adjusting schedules." Adjusting schedules is a nice way to say cutting my hours. It happens a week after the divorce hearing. Like clockwork, like someone tipped a domino and the rest are falling exactly as planned. When I get to work, the air smells like bleach and stale carpet. The fluorescent lights make everything look sickly. My coworkers glance up, then away too fast. Their pity is a physical thing, sticky on my skin. My supervisor calls me into her office. She doesn't offer a seat. She taps a pen against a clipboard like she's already decided. "We've noticed you've been distracted," she says. The word distracted lands like a slap. My throat tightens. "I'm fine," I say. My voice comes out steady, but my palms are damp. I wipe them on my pants. She tilts her head. "It's just, you've had a lot going on, and it's affecting the team. A lot going on. My kids are being kept from me. My home is gone. My name is on accounts I don't recognize. My signature might not be my signature. And I'm affecting the team." I nod like a polite, broken doll. "I'll do better," I say, because what else can I say? If I fight, if I show emotion, if I let the truth leak out of my mouth in anything other than calm sentences, it becomes another label, another whisper, another concern. I leave her office with my stomach in knots and my shoulders pulled tight up around my ears. All day, the courtroom replays in my head like a cruel loop. The judge's voice, his lawyer's sharp words, my husband's smile, that whisper outside. "You're done. Nobody will believe you." The phrase slides through me like a cold blade, and for a second, just a second, I doubt myself. Maybe I did sign it. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I'm making patterns out of nothing. My hands tremble over the keyboard. My chest tightens. My breathing turns shallow. I can feel the spiral opening beneath my feet like a trapdoor. Then I stop. I close my eyes and press my fingers hard against my eyelids until the pressure grounds me in my own body. I force myself to name what I can feel: the chair under me, the fabric against my skin, the taste of coffee, the ache in my jaw. I'm here. I'm not crazy, and even if I were, paper doesn't lie. Numbers don't care about opinions. I go straight from work to the community center because I don't trust myself to go home and drown in silence. The building smells like old books and floor cleaner. The lobby is warm. Voices echo down the hallway. Kids laughing, someone calling out bingo numbers, a microwave beeping, life going on, normal life. It makes me feel like a ghost walking through it. In the corner, there's a small library room. Not fancy, just shelves, a few tables, a bulletin board with flyers pinned, crooked. I've seen the older woman there before. Silver hair pulled back, glasses on a chain, hands always moving, sorting, labeling. She looks up when I step inside. Her eyes are calm, sharp in a way that feels like safety. "You look like you're carrying bricks," she says. My throat tightens so fast I almost choke. The kindness hits me harder than cruelty ever did. I sit before I can change my mind. The chair creaks. "I think my husband hid accounts," I say, and the words come out in a rush, raw. "I think he—" My voice cracks. I swallow hard, tasting salt even though I haven't cried. I'm trying to prove it, but everything is locked, and everyone keeps treating me like I'm unstable. The word feels dirty in my mouth. She doesn't flinch. She doesn't pity me. She just nods slowly like she's heard stories like this before. Like she knows exactly how people can be erased with the right adjectives. "Then don't fight with feelings," she says. "Fight with facts." I blink. My chest aches. She pulls a notebook from a drawer and slides it toward me. "Start a timeline," she continues. "Dates, times, names, what was said, what was denied, every text, every voicemail, every email, screenshots, receipts. You don't need to convince people you're stable. You need to show them you're consistent." Consistent. The word settles into me like a weight. Heavy but solid, something I can hold. She teaches me how to organize, how to label files, how to save voicemails, how to write notes in a way that can't be twisted. "Neutral language," she says. "No accusations in your messages. Let the evidence accuse for you." I nod, my throat tight. When I get home, I don't collapse. I build a system. I spread papers across my tiny table and start sorting. My fingers move with purpose. The shame is still there, but it's quieter now, pushed back by action. I open a folder on my laptop. Timeline. I create subfolders: visitation, finances, work, court. I save every text where he denies me a call for the kids' routine. I save every voicemail where he sounds calm and reasonable while twisting the knife. I write down every date he canceled visits, every concerned message his mother sent that sounded sweet but made my stomach turn. My eyes burn from staring at the screen, but I keep going. The air in my apartment feels different, still small, still lonely, but charged, like the walls are listening and finally approving. Then, deep in the statements I pulled from that dusty folder, I see it, a transfer, not big, almost insultingly small, like whoever did it assumed nobody would notice. A monthly deposit from a business name I don't recognize, routed into a separate account tied to our old address. The account number matches one of the alerts. My pulse spikes. The business name sits there in black text, plain, boring, easy to overlook. But I don't overlook it, because I've seen it before. My stomach drops so hard it feels like my organs shift, a holiday card. 3 years ago, his mother sent it. Gold foil lettering, a staged family photo, her handwriting neat and smug on the inside. She'd written something about family planning and how proud she was of her son's smart moves. At the time, I thought it meant saving for the kids, college funds, retirement, responsible adult stuff. Now, staring at that business name on the transfer, I can hear her voice saying, family planning with that polished smile. I can feel the cold realization seep into my bones. This wasn't just him. This was a team. My fingers hover over the keyboard. My mouth is dry. My skin prickles with goosebumps even though the room is warm. I highlight the business name. I screenshot. Then I sit back, heart hammering, and the silence in my apartment doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels like a cliff. And I'm standing right at the edge, staring down into everything they tried to bury. The parking lot smells like hot asphalt and exhaust, and the sun is too bright for the kind of day this is. I'm 10 minutes early. I'm always early now. Early is a shield. Early is proof. Early is me trying to stay ahead of the story he keeps writing about me. Late, sloppy, unstable, unreliable. My hands grip the steering wheel until the leather creaks. The inside of my car is warm, thick air pressing against my skin. I can taste my own breath, coffee and anxiety. My phone sits in the cup holder like a loaded weapon. Pickup is at 3. At 3 o'clock, nothing changes. No minivan pulling in, no little bodies in the rear window, no backpacks, no wave, no tiny face scanning the lot for me. At 3:02, my throat gets tight. At 3:04, my heart starts doing that stupid thing where it forgets rhythm and just pounds like it's trying to bruise its way out of my chest. At 3:06, I text him, "Hi, I'm here for pickup." I stare at the screen, waiting for the bubbles. They don't appear. The lot is full of movement that has nothing to do with me. Parents chatting, kids racing each other, a coach holding a clipboard and laughing with another adult. Ordinary life buzzing around the hole in my stomach. At 3:10, I call. It rings. It rings again, then voicemail. I swallow hard and it feels like pushing a stone down my throat. At 3:12, I text again, short, neutral, the way my mentor taught me. Please confirm where to meet. Finally, the bubbles appear. 3 dots, 3 little beats of hope that turn into something sharp when his reply lands. Schedule change. Told you earlier. Don't make a scene. My vision blurs for a second. Not tears, anger, the kind that makes the world go soft around the edges. I scroll back through our messages so fast my thumb slips on the screen. No schedule change. Nothing. My skin starts to prickle. I can feel my pulse in my wrists, in my throat, in my ears, a rushing sound like waves. I lift my head and look around the parking lot. 2 moms on the sidewalk glance my way. A dad loading sports gear into his trunk pauses. People notice when a woman is alone in a car for too long, phone in hand, face tight like she's swallowing something. I can see it already, how he wants this to look. There she is, again, making it difficult, unstable, causing problems. He built this like a trap with glass walls. I can see it, and that makes it worse. I type, then erase. Type, then erase. My fingers shake so badly the letters come out wrong. He wants me to storm inside. He wants me to demand answers. He wants me to cry loud enough for witnesses to remember my voice and not his. I can almost hear him narrating it later, calm and wounded. She showed up yelling. The kids were confused. I was worried. I sit back and force my hands to unclench one finger at a time. My palms are damp. I wipe them on my jeans, then immediately grip the wheel again because letting go feels like falling. My breath is shallow. My chest feels too small for my lungs. I close my eyes. He wants me frantic. He wants me loud. He wants me to prove his story. The thought drops into place like a key turning. I open my eyes and stare straight ahead, past the windshield at a faded white line painted on the asphalt. Clarity is not warm. It's cold. It's clean. It slices through the panic and leaves only purpose. I pick up my phone and open my notes app. 3:13 p.m. Denied pickup. Claimed. Schedule change, not previously communicated. Witnesses present in lot. My fingers stop shaking as I type. They move like they belong to someone else. Someone steadier, someone sharper. Then I start the car and drive away before anyone can see my face break. I pull into a quiet side street and park under a tree that drops sticky sap onto my windshield. The shade makes the car cooler, but my skin is still hot. My stomach is still tight. I rest my forehead on the steering wheel for one long second. Just one. Then I sit up. Public records. My mentor's voice is in my head. Calm, firm. If it exists, it's on paper somewhere. Paper trails are arrogant. They think no one will look. My hands are steadier now as I open my laptop at home, the screen glowing in the dimness of my apartment. The air smells like laundry detergent and the leftover onion from dinner I didn't finish. I type his name, our old address, the business name I recognized from the transfer. Search, search, search. Each click feels like stepping deeper into a hallway I wasn't supposed to find. Then I see it, an LLC. Registered, active, his name attached, and another name underneath. For a second, my brain refuses to read it, like my eyes are buffering, like reality is loading too slowly for what I just asked it to do. Then it snaps into focus. It's a name I've set across my own kitchen table. A name that's been written on birthday cards for my children. A name that once toasted our families at a barbecue, raising a beer and calling my husband brother, my best friend's fiancé. My mouth goes cold, like all the saliva drains at once. I stare at the screen until the letters warp. My hands start shaking again, but differently now. Rage and grief braided together so tight they feel like wire. I scroll, I click, I dig. And there's more, Aline. A quiet loan against the house. My house. Our house. The address is there in black and white like a cruel joke. My knees go weak. I have to sit down hard on the couch. The cushion exhales under me. A loan I never agreed to. A lien I never signed for. A signature that might be mine because I was so tired, so trusting, so busy keeping tiny humans alive that I'd let him put papers in front of me like they were nothing. My stomach rolls. Acid creeps up my throat. I swallow it down and it burns. I press my hands to my face, palms over my eyes, and breathe through my fingers. This isn't just money. This is my children's home being used like collateral for whatever secret life he's been feeding. And that second name, my best friend's fiancé, means it wasn't hidden by accident. It was hidden with help. I can feel my heartbeat in my fingertips as I pick up my phone. I don't want to call. Calling is messy. Calling invites emotion. Calling gives him a chance to lie in real time. But I need to hear it. I need to see how deep the betrayal goes. I text my best friend first. Are you with him right now? She replies almost instantly. No. Why? What's wrong? My throat tightens. My fingers hover over the screen. I can't do it over text. Not this. I call her. My hands are cold now, despite the heater blasting in the corner. She answers on the second ring. Hey, what's happening? I hear it. The worry in her voice. The real kind. My voice comes out low, scraped raw. I found something. What kind of something? I swallow. My tongue feels thick. An LLC, it has his name on it, and it has his name on it too. Silence. Then, who? I say it. The fiancé's name. Each syllable tastes bitter, her breath catches. No. I'm looking at it, I whisper. It's public record. Another silence, longer this time. I can hear her breathing, short, fast, like she's trying to outrun panic. I'm coming over, she says. I already know, I reply, and my voice shakes. I need you to ask him. I need to know if he's involved, if he... Okay, she says quickly. Okay, don't do anything. I'll talk to him. When she hangs up, my hands are trembling so hard I nearly drop the phone. I can't wait. Waiting feels like letting them close doors. So I do the thing I promised myself I wouldn't. I go to him, not my husband. Not today. I go to the man whose name is on that record, the one who ate cake in my backyard and called my children sweethearts, the one who hugged me at the hospital when my second baby was born, the one I trusted because he was attached to the only person still checking on me. His apartment complex is clean and quiet. It smells like fresh mulch and someone's laundry drifting from an open window. I sit in my car for a minute, hands on the wheel, chest tight like it's bound in tape. Then I get out. My legs feel heavy walking up the stairs like gravity has doubled. He opens the door looking surprised. His hair is damp like he just showered. He's wearing sweatpants and a casual smile, normal life on his face. Hey, he says, you okay? The concern in his voice almost undoes me. Almost. I step inside before he can invite me because if I hesitate, I'll leave. I'll go home and fold tiny shirts and pretend this isn't real. The apartment smells like cologne and detergent. A game is paused on the TV. A half-empty coffee mug sits on the counter. He closes the door behind me. What's going on? I don't sit. I pull out my phone with hands that won't stop trembling and show him the screenshot. His eyes flick down, then up, then back down again, and I see it. A flicker, not confusion, recognition. He blinks too fast. Swallows. His Adam's apple bobs. I don't know what that is, he says quickly, too quickly, and the lie comes out polished like he's practiced. My nails dig into my palm. My voice stays quiet, but it shakes at the edges. It's public record. It has your name on it. He laughs. A short, nervous sound. People have similar names. No, I snap, and the word comes out sharper than I meant. My stomach twists. I rein it back in. Your address is on other filings, your full name. It's you. He looks away. He rubs his hands together, palms sliding like he's trying to wash something off. I didn't... He starts, then stops. My heart pounds. I step closer. Tell me the truth. His jaw tightens. He still won't look at me. I only signed papers, he mutters. The room tilts. The words hit me like a physical shove. Only signed papers, like signing papers is nothing. Like signatures don't move lives. Like my name on a document didn't take my house and my kids and my credibility and grind it into dust. My voice drops into a whisper, the kind that comes from deep, dangerous places. Why? He finally looks at me and his eyes are tired. Guilty, but not shocked, not sorry enough. He said it was for taxes, he says. Business stuff. He said it was normal. He said, his voice cracks. He said you were okay with it. I laugh then, a sound with no humor. It scrapes my throat. He said I was okay with it, I repeat, tasting the absurdity. Did you ask me? He flinches like I slapped him. No, he admits. I didn't think... Because I'm just the wife, I whisper. The mom. The one who signs things while holding a baby. He opens his mouth, closes it. He looks like he wants to defend himself and knows he can't. My chest burns. My eyes sting. I turn away before he can see tears. I refuse to give anyone the satisfaction of calling them proof. When I walk out, my legs are shaking. The stairwell smells like concrete and someone's cooking oil. I grip the railing so hard my fingers hurt. In my car, I sit with my hands on the wheel and stare straight ahead. My heart is pounding, but underneath it, something else settles. This is bigger than my pride. This is bigger than embarrassment. This is my children's stability, their school, their home, their sense of safety. I wipe my face with the back of my hand and feel the wetness I tried to deny. The tears are hot, angry, almost violent in how they push out. I let them come, for exactly 10 seconds. Then I stop. I inhale until my ribs ache. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Justice isn't loud, not the kind I'm going for. Justice is patient, it's organized, it's undeniable. I pull out my phone and open my notes again. Date, time, location, statement. I only signed papers. My fingers move fast, clean. When I get home, my phone buzzes with a message from a number I don't recognize. No name, no greeting, just words that make my stomach drop. Stop digging. You'll lose them for good. My hands go ice cold. The room feels suddenly smaller, air pressing in from all sides. I stare at the message until the letters blur, my pulse roaring in my ears. Then I screenshot. Of course I do, because now I know. They're watching, and they're scared. A name that once toasted our family at a barbecue, raising a beer and calling my husband brother, my best friend's fiancé. My mouth goes cold, like all the saliva drains at once. I stare at the screen until the letters warp. My hands start shaking again, but differently now. Rage and grief braided together so tight they feel like wire. I scroll, I click, I dig. And there's more, Aline. A quiet loan against the house. My house. Our house. The address is there in black and white like a cruel joke. My knees go weak. I have to sit down hard on the couch. The cushion exhales under me. A loan I never agreed to. A lien I never signed for. A signature that might be mine because I was so tired, so trusting, so busy keeping tiny humans alive that I'd let him put papers in front of me like they were nothing. My stomach rolls. Acid creeps up my throat. I swallow it down and it burns. I press my hands to my face, palms over my eyes, and breathe through my fingers. This isn't just money. This is my children's home being used like collateral for whatever secret life he's been feeding. And that second name, my best friend's fiancé, means it wasn't hidden by accident. It was hidden with help. I can feel my heartbeat in my fingertips as I pick up my phone. I don't want to call. Calling is messy. Calling invites emotion. Calling gives him a chance to lie in real time. But I need to hear it. I need to see how deep the betrayal goes. I text my best friend first. "Are you with him right now?" She replies almost instantly. "No. Why? What's wrong?" My throat tightens. My fingers hover over the screen. I can't do it over text. Not this. I call her. My hands are cold now, despite the heater blasting in the corner. She answers on the second ring. "Hey, what's happening?" I hear it. The worry in her voice. The real kind. My voice comes out low, scraped raw. "I found something." "What kind of something?" I swallow. My tongue feels thick. "An LLC, it has his name on it, and it has his name on it too." Silence. Then, "Who?" I say it, the fiancé's name. Each syllable tastes bitter, her breath catches. "No." "I'm looking at it," I whisper. "It's public record." Another silence, longer this time. I can hear her breathing, short, fast, like she's trying to outrun panic. "I'm coming over," she says. "I already know," I reply, and my voice shakes. "I need you to ask him. I need to know if he's involved, if he—" "Okay," she says quickly. "Okay, don't do anything. I'll talk to him." When she hangs up, my hands are trembling so hard I nearly drop the phone. I can't wait. Waiting feels like letting them close doors. So I do the thing I promised myself I wouldn't. I go to him, not my husband. Not today. I go to the man whose name is on that record, the one who ate cake in my backyard and called my children sweethearts, the one who hugged me at the hospital when my second baby was born, the one I trusted because he was attached to the only person still checking on me. His apartment complex is clean and quiet. It smells like fresh mulch and someone's laundry drifting from an open window. I sit in my car for a minute, hands on the wheel, chest tight like it's bound in tape. Then I get out. My legs feel heavy walking up the stairs like gravity has doubled. He opens the door looking surprised. His hair is damp like he just showered. He's wearing sweatpants and a casual smile, normal life on his face. "Hey," he says, "you okay?" The concern in his voice almost undoes me. Almost. I step inside before he can invite me because if I hesitate, I'll leave. I'll go home and fold tiny shirts and pretend this isn't real. The apartment smells like cologne and detergent. A game is paused on the TV. A half-empty coffee mug sits on the counter. He closes the door behind me. What's going on? I don't sit. I pull out my phone with hands that won't stop trembling and show him the screenshot. His eyes flick down, then up, then back down again, and I see it. A flicker, not confusion, recognition. He blinks too fast. Swallows. His Adam's apple bobs. I don't know what that is, he says quickly, too quickly, and the lie comes out polished like he's practiced. My nails dig into my palm. My voice stays quiet, but it shakes at the edges. It's public record. It has your name on it. He laughs. A short, nervous sound. People have similar names. No, I snap, and the word comes out sharper than I meant. My stomach twists. I rein it back in. Your address is on other filings, your full name. It's you. He looks away. He rubs his hands together, palms sliding like he's trying to wash something off. I didn't... He starts, then stops. My heart pounds. I step closer. Tell me the truth. His jaw tightens. He still won't look at me. I only signed papers, he mutters. The room tilts. The words hit me like a physical shove. Only signed papers, like signing papers is nothing. Like signatures don't move lives. Like my name on a document didn't take my house and my kids and my credibility and grind it into dust. My voice drops into a whisper, the kind that comes from deep, dangerous places. Why? He finally looks at me and his eyes are tired. Guilty, but not shocked, not sorry enough. He said it was for taxes, he says. Business stuff. He said it was normal. He said, his voice cracks. He said you were okay with it. I laugh then, a sound with no humor. It scrapes my throat. He said I was okay with it, I repeat, tasting the absurdity. Did you ask me? He flinches like I slapped him. No, he admits. I didn't think... Because I'm just the wife, I whisper. The mom. The one who signs things while holding a baby. He opens his mouth, closes it. He looks like he wants to defend himself and knows he can't. My chest burns. My eyes sting. I turn away before he can see tears. I refuse to give anyone the satisfaction of calling them proof. When I walk out, my legs are shaking. The stairwell smells like concrete and someone's cooking oil. I grip the railing so hard my fingers hurt. In my car, I sit with my hands on the wheel and stare straight ahead. My heart is pounding, but underneath it, something else settles. This is bigger than my pride. This is bigger than embarrassment. This is my children's stability, their school, their home, their sense of safety. I wipe my face with the back of my hand and feel the wetness I tried to deny. The tears are hot, angry, almost violent in how they push out. I let them come for exactly 10 seconds. Then I stop. I inhale until my ribs ache. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Justice isn't loud, not the kind I'm going for. Justice is patient, it's organized, it's undeniable. I pull out my phone and open my notes again. Date, time, location, statement. I only signed papers. My fingers move fast, clean. When I get home, my phone buzzes with a message from a number I don't recognize. No name, no greeting, just words that make my stomach drop. Stop digging. You'll lose them for good. My hands go ice cold. The room feels suddenly smaller, air pressing in from all sides. I stare at the message until the letters blur, my pulse roaring in my ears. Then I screenshot. Of course I do, because now I know. They're watching, and they're scared. The message sits on my screen like a thumb pressing on my throat. Stop digging. You'll lose them for good. My skin goes cold first, then my stomach, like my body is trying to shut off anything soft before it gets used against me. I stare until my eyes sting, until the words stop looking like language and start looking like teeth. They're watching. That means I'm close. I set the phone down carefully, like it's fragile, like it might explode if I move too fast. My hands are shaking, but it's not panic anymore. It's charge. Electricity under skin. I whisper to the empty room. Okay. Not okay like comfort. Okay like agreement, like game on. I don't want a messy explosion. I can't afford it. Not with my kids' names tangled in this. Not with my reputation already hanging by a thread. A single wrong move and they'll dress it up as proof, unstable, erratic, emotional. So I plan it the way you plan something that has to work. Slow, clean, relentless. 3 tracks: legal, financial, reputation. I say them out loud like a prayer and write them at the top of a page in thick black ink. The marker squeaks. The sound steadies me. Legal first. I go to the legal aid clinic on my next day off, wearing my plainest clothes. No makeup, hair pulled back, small earrings, nothing that can be called dramatic. I sit in a plastic chair that smells like disinfectant and old sweat, my knees bouncing under the table until I force them still. Every muscle in my body wants to either run or scream. Instead, I breathe. In the intake room, the attorney is kind in a tired way, like she's seen every version of someone being quietly dismantled. "What brings you in?" she asks. I swallow. My throat is dry. I think he hid money. I think he misrepresented financial disclosures. And I think he's using my kids as leverage. She doesn't react. That's what I need. No shock, just process. "Do you have documentation?" she asks. "Yes," I say, and my voice surprises me. It doesn't crack, it doesn't shake, it comes out like a nail. I slide my folder across the table. It's not emotional. It's not a rant. It's a packet. Timeline. Dates. Screenshots, public records, the anonymous threat message, the denied pickups, the schedule changes that only exist in his imagination, the lien filing, the LLC registration, the suspicious transfers, all labeled, all numbered. Her eyes move faster as she reads. For the first time in weeks, my lungs feel like they can open all the way. Financial track is next. At home, I turn my tiny dining table into a crime scene. Papers everywhere. Sticky notes like little yellow warning flags. My laptop open. Brightness high enough to make my eyes ache. I wear the same hoodie for 2 days because I keep forgetting I'm a person who needs things like showers and food. I drink water, and it sits heavy in my stomach. I document every deposit, every transfer, every business name. I build a spreadsheet with columns so neat it looks almost beautiful. Date, amount, source, account, notes, screenshot file name. My mentor taught me this. Make the truth easy to read. Make it impossible to dismiss as confusion. Each time my phone buzzes, my heart jolts like it's been jabbed. It's him. Always him. He doesn't yell. He never yells in writing. He's too smart for that. He sends messages that look polite to anyone outside our marriage, but the meaning underneath is a hand closing around my throat. "You seem stressed. Are you taking care of yourself?" "I'm concerned about the kids being around negativity. If you keep pushing, you'll only hurt them." Sometimes he throws in a memory like bait. "Remember when we used to laugh at midnight pancakes? I miss that version of you." That version of me. The one who didn't know what he was. I feel bile rise in my throat so fast I clamp my jaw shut. I taste it, sour and hot. My fingers hover over the keyboard, itching to type the truth like a weapon. "You stole from me. You used my name. You lied in court. I don't. I type the only kind of response that can't be twisted. "Noted. Please keep communication to scheduling and the children." Period. Nothing else. Neutral. Every time I hit send, it feels like swallowing a fist. But I do it. Again and again. Reputation track is the hardest because it means living in public like a ghost of myself. I keep my voice gentle at the school office. I smile when staff speak to me, even when I can feel the air change, even when I can tell someone's been primed to view me as a problem. I bring the exact documents the school requests. I say thank you. I don't overshare, I don't defend myself. Defending myself is what they want. Defense looks like guilt to people who've already decided. Let the facts speak. Let them whisper until they become unavoidable. His mother begins her campaign like it's a hobby. It shows up first as concern. A teacher I used to chat with now keeps conversations short. A neighbor who used to wave looks away. A mutual friend sends a text. "Just checking in. Heard you've been having a hard time." Hard time. I can picture her, my mother-in-law, smiling while she stirs tea, calling people with her soft voice, planting little seeds. I'm worried about her. She seems fragile. I just want the kids safe. The words are careful. She never calls me bad. She just suggests I might be, and people fill in the rest because it's easier than asking questions. My chest burns with rage, but I keep my face still. At night, in my apartment, I let myself feel it. I pace until my feet ache. I press my forehead against the cool wall. I clench my fists until my nails leave crescents in my palms. I whisper curses into my sleeve so nobody can hear, so I don't even have to hear myself. Then I sit back down at the table and keep building. My mentor comes over one afternoon with a tote bag that smells like paper and peppermint gum. She doesn't ask permission. She just steps into my chaos and starts organizing it like she's done this 1,000 times. "Show me your timeline," she says. I hand it over, embarrassed by how much of my life is now recorded in bullet points. She scans it, nodding. "Good. Now we make it cleaner, we make it undeniable. We print, we label, we staple exhibits, we create an index. She makes me write 1-sentence summaries for each piece of evidence. Not emotional summaries, factual. Denied scheduled pickup, no prior notice of change. Bank alert indicates account under my name. Bank requires in-person verification. Public record shows LLC with husband's name, second signer identified. Lien filed against marital home without my documented consent." Each sentence is like laying a brick, heavy, solid, a wall they can't push through with vibes and smiles. Then comes the mid-act twist. It happens on a night when my eyes are gritty from lack of sleep and my brain feels like it's wrapped in cotton. I'm scrolling through transaction histories, cross-referencing dates, following the trail like I'm tracking footprints in snow. At first, the transfers look random, small, innocent. Then I notice a rhythm. Monthly deposits into the LLC account. Then, almost immediately, outgoing payments, same vendor names, same intervals. A private school tuition payment I don't recognize. A high-end gym membership. A boutique rental address that's not ours. My breath catches so hard I cough. My stomach twists. This isn't savings. This isn't business. This is funding someone else's life. My hands go clammy. My fingers slip on the trackpad. I zoom in on a vendor name, then type it into a search bar. My heart pounds in my ears, loud as a drum. An apartment complex, upscale. The kind with a lobby that smells like expensive candles. I sit back so fast the chair scrapes the floor. The sound is harsh in the quiet room. My skin prickles from scalp to spine. Who? The question pulses through me, hot and frantic, and I have to physically clamp down on it. Not yet. Don't jump. Don't explode. Don't run into the street screaming names. Document. Verify. Build. I screenshot everything. I save it in a folder labeled Third-Party Benefits. My hands are shaking, but my mind is sharp. Razor sharp. 2 days later, mediation. The office is too cold. The air conditioning hums like an insect. The chairs are stiff and the table is too glossy, reflecting everyone's faces in a warped way. It feels like sitting inside a lie. He walks in wearing his calm, crisp shirt, controlled smile. He looks at me like I'm a child who wandered into a room she can't afford. His attorney sits beside him with a leather folder and a pen poised like a weapon. His mother isn't there, but I can feel her anyway, like perfume that lingers after someone leaves. He leans back in his chair and smirks, voice low enough to sound private, intimate. "You can't afford to fight me," he says. The words hit something deep and old in me, the part that used to flinch, used to shrink, used to swallow my own needs to keep the peace. My stomach tightens. Then I feel my mentor's calmness in my bones, the weight of the packet in my bag, the steady logic of paper. I don't answer him with anger. I answer him with one sheet. I slide a single printed page across the table, just one. A summary of the LLC deposits and the immediate outgoing payments, highlighted, labeled, dated, clean enough for a judge to understand in 10 seconds. Sharp enough to cut through a performance. His smirk freezes. His eyes drop to the page. I watch the color drain from his face, slow and inevitable, like a sunrise in reverse. His jaw tightens. A muscle jumps in his cheek. For the first time since court, he looks not in control. His attorney reaches for the paper, scans it, and her expression changes too. Professional mask slipping just a fraction. A silence stretches across the table. It's thick. It's heavy. It tastes like metal in my mouth. He looks up at me, and there's something in his eyes now. Anger, yes, but underneath it, something worse. Fear. His attorney clears her throat. "We need a moment," she says quickly, voice too bright. She turns to the mediator. "A private break, just a few minutes." The mediator nods. My husband pushes his chair back too hard. It scrapes loudly. His hands are shaking when he gathers his folder, and that tiny tremor feels like victory in my bloodstream. They stand and move toward the hallway. I stay seated. I keep my face neutral. My pulse is racing, but I don't let it show. I stare at the table, at the glossy reflection of my own eyes. Wide, bright, alive. As they step away, I hear it. His attorney's voice, sharp and urgent, carried by the thin walls. "Undisclosed," another step. "Serious consequences." My heart slams against my ribs. My hands go cold. The room seems to sharpen around me, every edge suddenly clear. Undisclosed, serious consequences. I sit perfectly still, breath caught in my throat, and the realization spreads through me like fire. They know. They understand what this means, and whatever comes next, it won't be polite. It won't be easy, but it will be on record. The new hearing date sits on my calendar like a bruise you press, just to remind yourself it's real. I wake up before my alarm, eyes snapping open into darkness. My heart is already working overtime, thudding in my ribs like it's trying to escape. My mouth tastes like pennies. I lie there for a moment, staring at the ceiling of my tiny bedroom, listening to the building settle. Pipes creaking, someone's footsteps above me, a distant door closing. I put my hand on my stomach and breathe until the nausea backs off. Not gone, just farther away. I dress in silence. Black slacks, a plain blouse, shoes that don't squeak, hair pulled back. Minimal makeup, enough to look awake, not enough to look like I'm trying. I practice my face in the mirror, smoothing it into something neutral, something that doesn't give anyone the satisfaction of seeing me crack. My hands tremble when I fasten my necklace. I take it off. The chain feels like a noose today. In the kitchen, my mentor sits at the table with my packet, our packet, already clipped and tabbed. She doesn't speak at first. She just looks at me, steady. "You ready?" she asks quietly. Ready isn't the right word. Ready is for vacations, ready is for birthday parties. But I nod anyway. My best friend drives me. Her fingers grip the steering wheel so tightly her knuckles go pale. The car smells like peppermint gum and old receipts. We don't talk much. Words feel fragile, like they might shatter if we touch them wrong. The courthouse is the same as before. Cold air, polished floors, metal detectors, the scent of old paper and stale coffee hanging in the hallways like a permanent stain. My stomach tightens the second I step inside. My skin prickles along my arms. I can hear it all again, as if the walls remember. Overwhelmed, unstable, erratic. I swallow hard and keep walking. When I enter the courtroom, he's already there. Of course he is. He stands near his attorney, wearing that same calm confidence like a tailored jacket. His hair is neat, his posture relaxed. His smile is small, controlled, like he's saving it for later when he thinks he's won again. His mother sits behind him with a tissue in hand before anything has even happened. She dabs at the corner of her eye as if grief is her accessory today. Her lips move in silent prayers, head tilted, like she's performing for an audience only she can see. My stomach rolls. I keep my gaze forward. I don't give her my eyes. I don't give her anything. My attorney, legal aide, tired but sharp, leans toward me and murmurs, "We're prepared. Just answer what's asked. Keep it simple." Simple. I nod. My fingers curl around the edge of my folder. The paper inside feels heavy, like it has its own gravity. The judge enters. Everyone stands. The sound of chairs scraping makes my teeth ache. We sit. My pulse is loud in my ears, but my hands are steady now. That surprises me, and the surprise steadies me even more. The hearing begins. His attorney starts with the same tone as always, polished, controlled, like she's presenting a tidy story. My husband looks calm, occasionally glancing at me with that practiced pity. Then my attorney begins laying the evidence out, piece by piece, like placing stones in a line the judge can follow, hidden accounts and transfers not disclosed. My throat tightens as the words are spoken, not because they're new, but because they're finally being said in a room where they matter. The judge's eyes move across the pages. The sound of paper flipping is the loudest thing in the room. The lien, the loan tied to the home. My chest burns, my fingers press into my palm hard enough to hurt. The pain keeps me anchored. I watch my husband's face carefully, the way you watch a crack in glass spread. He doesn't react much at first. He's trained. He's practiced. But I see it, his jaw tightening, his lips flattening. Then comes the proof of coaching narratives, texts, emails, a thread where he tells someone exactly what to say about me. Keep it vague, one message reads. Just say you've noticed she's been overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. The word hits my ribs like a fist. My breath catches, sharp. The judge's gaze lifts, and for the first time, it feels like it lands on him, not me. My husband shifts in his chair, just slightly. His mother dabs her eyes again, a soft little performance, and I can almost hear her thinking, poor boy, poor family. This woman is ruining us. But paper doesn't care about her tissues. Paper doesn't care about her prayers. The judge asks questions. My husband answers with smooth confidence at first. He says he disclosed everything. He says he's only ever acted in the children's best interests. He says he's concerned about my stability. Concern. Again. The word tastes like rust in my mouth. Then my attorney asks him about specific deposits, dates, amounts, sources. He hesitates. The hesitation is tiny, but in a courtroom, tiny things echo. He answers, but the answer is vague. Too vague. He blinks too much. My attorney follows up with the outgoing payments, why they went where they went, who they benefited. His mouth opens, then closes. He clears his throat. I don't recall, he says. I feel heat rush up my neck. My hands want to shake, but they don't. They stay locked around my folder. My attorney moves to the lien. Did you obtain a loan against the marital home without her knowledge or consent? He looks at his attorney for half a second too long. The judge notices. His attorney shifts papers too quickly, a little frantic edge bleeding through her professional mask. My husband says, it was necessary at the time, and the judge asks, necessary for what? Silence. The kind that stretches, the kind that makes the air feel thick. My husband starts speaking again, but his sentences don't connect. He contradicts himself without realizing it. One moment he claims there were no additional accounts. The next he says, well, there were business accounts, but. That word is a crack. His attorney's face tightens. Her pen taps once. Sharp. The judge leans forward slightly, and then it's my turn to speak. My knees feel like they're made of water when I stand, but I stand anyway. I keep my shoulders back. I keep my chin level. I keep my voice calm, even though my throat feels like it's wrapped in wire. When I speak about the money, I keep it factual. Dates, denied pickups, bank alerts, records, but when I speak about my kids, my voice almost betrays me. I don't let it. I look at the judge and I talk about bedtime. Not in a dramatic way, in a real way. I talk about the little routines that stitch a child's world together. The nightlight shaped like a star. The way my daughter always asks for one more story and tries to negotiate like a tiny lawyer. The way my son's hair sticks up in the back after a bath and he laughs when I smooth it down. I feel my eyes burn. My throat tightens. My chest aches like it's trying to cave in. I keep my voice steady anyway. I'm not asking to punish him, I say, and the words taste strange because part of me does want him punished. I do. I want him exposed until his charm can't save him. But I swallow that part down because this isn't about my pride. It's about stability, I continue, voice low and controlled. My children deserve both parents, and they deserve honesty in this process. I pause. I breathe. My eyes sting so badly it feels like sand under my lids, but I don't blink too fast. I won't let tears fall in front of them. Not today. Then the biggest twist drops into the room like a stone. My attorney presents updated filings, a deeper dive, a connection that wasn't visible at first until we traced it properly. The second name on the LLC paperwork. Not just the fiancé, not just some friend, his mother, her legal name, her signature, the organizer. For a second, I can't hear anything. My ears ring. The room blurs at the edges. My stomach drops so hard I feel it in my knees. I turn my head slowly, too slowly, and look at her. Her tissue freezes mid-dab. Her mouth is still, lips pressed tight. The polished mask slips for a fraction of a second, and what's underneath is not sorrow. It's calculation. She lifts her chin like she's offended anyone would dare. My husband's face changes, not anger, not confidence, panic. His attorney's posture stiffens, her eyes flick across the paperwork too fast. She swallows. I can see the gears turning, the damage control already failing. The judge's expression hardens. The courtroom feels colder. The judge speaks, voice firm, measured, words like financial review and disclosures and sanctions move through the air like blunt objects. The judge warns against manipulation, against coaching, against obstructing contact, against using the process as a weapon. I don't breathe until I realize my lungs are starving. Then the judge addresses custody. Not all at once, not a miracle, not a movie moment where everything flips perfectly in 10 seconds, but a shift, a correction, meaningful time restored, a schedule that can't be changed on a whim, communication guidelines, transparency orders. My throat tightens so hard I almost make a sound. I press my tongue against the roof of my mouth and hold it there, grounding myself in the pressure. The judge's words keep coming, steady and official, and each one feels like a stitch being pulled back into place. My husband's public image takes the hit right there, not because anyone gossips, not because I scream it online, not because I show up at his job, because it's on record, because it's written, because the paper remembers. When the hearing ends, my legs feel weak again. I gather my things with slow hands. My mentor touches my elbow lightly as we stand. My best friend's eyes are glossy. She doesn't speak, but her hand squeezes mine once, hard. My husband tries to catch me as we exit. "Wait," he says, voice low, urgent, like he thinks he can still pull me into a private corner and rearrange reality with his tone. We need to talk. His mother stands behind him, face stiff, tissue clenched like a weapon now, not a prop. My heart pounds, my stomach twists. Part of me wants to stop and spit every truth in his face until he can't breathe under it. I don't. I walk past him. I keep my pace even, my shoulders back, my eyes forward, and as I pass, I let my voice drop, just enough for him to hear, soft as a blade sliding free. I'm not done protecting my kids. I don't look back, but I feel him behind me, still, stunned, finally understanding that the version of me who begged is gone. And the version of him who laughed in court is about to learn what receipts can do. The loud part of me wanted to burn the whole world down. It wanted to scream in the courthouse hallway. It wanted to show everyone the messages, the lies, the way he smiled while he took pieces of me like souvenirs. It wanted drama because drama looks like power when you're desperate. But that kind of power disappears fast. The kind I built stayed. It was screenshots at midnight when my hands wouldn't stop shaking. It was dates written down when I wanted to forget. It was swallowing words that would have felt good for 5 seconds and cost me 5 years. It was calm power, quiet enough that nobody could twist it into a story about me losing control. If something in your life feels hidden, trust that feeling. Your body notices before your brain catches up. That tightness in your chest, that little pause when numbers don't match, listen to it. And write everything down. Not because you're petty, because you deserve proof. Because truth needs a spine. Timelines, screenshots, saved voicemails, short, neutral replies that don't feed the fire. Protect your peace like it's your last dollar, because sometimes it is. Most of all, don't let anyone bait you into becoming their story. That night, my first real custody night back, I tuck my kids into bed in my small apartment. The rooms are different. The walls aren't the same color. The floor creaks in a new pattern. But safety is here. I sit on the edge of the mattress and smooth my son's hair back. I pull the blanket up to my daughter's chin and she sighs like her body finally believes it's allowed to rest. My throat tightens and this time I let it. Just a little. Quiet. Private. Mine. If you're still here with me, Hit like and subscribe for more betrayal to justice stories. Stories where the truth doesn't need to shout to win. And tell me, have you ever been painted as the problem while someone else hid the truth? Because next time, it starts in a support group with smiling faces and warm hugs. Until I realize one of them isn't there to heal. They're there to spy. And that's when I plan the smartest comeback of my life.